Today we will talk about Futuro Imperfecto, Spanish Future Tense. El próximo verano, Carlos viajará a Argentina. The next summer, Carlos will travel to Argentina. We can see verb viajará from verb viajar, to travel. Note also a Argentina. As you probably remember, in Spanish, we use preposition a for indication of motion, of going somewhere, to some lugar. Este año tendrás dificultades económicas. This year you will have economic difficulties. We are using verb tener, to have, in future tense. As you can see from example, in most cases, futuro imperfecto can be translated directly to English future tense. Now let's take a look to conjugation of verbs. Conjugation of verbs in futuro imperfecto is simple, as we are using verbs in infinitive and then just adding same termination to all verbs. There is no difference between verbs that terminating with ar, er, or ir like in other tenses. So terminations are e, as, a, hemos, eis, han. Note that only hemos in nosotros is without accent. All others have accent, so it is really important to use it. For example, verb estudiar, to study. Estudiaré, estudiarás, estudiará, estudiaremos, estudiaréis, estudiarán. Let's take a look at the verbs that finish with er. For example, comer, to eat. Comeré, comerás, comerá, comeremos, comeréis, comerán. Now, words that finishing with ir. Escribir, to write. Escribiré, escribirás, escribirá, escribiremos, escribiréis, escribirán. As you can see, they all have the same terminations. That's why futuro imperfecto is not that difficult to memorize. To use infinitive plus same termination for all are, er, or ir verbs. Let's now take a look to irregulares. Another good thing in futuro imperfecto is that verbs that terminate with are doesn't have any irregular. So all of them are regulars, all verbs that terminate with are. So we will focus on the verbs that finish with er and ir and their irregulares. Most used irregulars are poner, to put, tener, to have, poder, to be able to, saber, to know, querer, to want, and haber, to have. In the poner and tener, we will just replace the e with the, and we will have pondre, tendre. In other verbs, poder, saber, querer, y haber, we will just remove last e, so we will have podre, sabre, querre, abre. With salir and venir is the similar like with poner and tener. We are replacing e with d, so we have saldre, vendre. Special case is with verbs hacer y decir. Hacer, to do, and decir, to say. Here we are replacing se y si. We are removing them, and in decir we are also removing e. We are replacing it with i. So at the end we have are, dire. So as you can see, we have three types of irregulars. One where we replace e or i with d. One where we just remove e and one where we remove se and si. Let's focus now when to use futuro imperfecto. Para expresar acciones futuras. To express future actions. Esta noche cenaré en casa. Tonight I will eat in the house. La semana que viene visitaré Cuba. The next week I will visit Cuba. So this is practically the same usage like in English language. For this case we can use following marcadores de tiempo. Esta tarde, esta noche, mañana, pasado mañana. La semana que viene, próximo año, próximo verano, próximo jueves. Second usage is to express the hypothesis about the future or wishes or similar things. So, no sé qué cenaré esta noche. I don't know what will I eat tonight. Seguramente iremos en teatro. For sure we will go to theater. Yo creo que me quedaré en casa. I believe I will stay in the house. So in this case, the usage is also very similar to the English language. Marcadores de tiempo are seguramente, probablemente, seguro que, creo que, no sé. On the same way, we can also formulate hypotheses about the present. So when we have sentences like this. No sé dónde he dejado las llaves del coche. I don't know where I left my car keys. Las tendrás en la mesilla, como siempre. They will be on the table, as always. So we are talking about keys in the present. They are now on the table. And we are using the future to express it. So that's all about futuro simple or futuro imperfecto. You can basically use any of these two names. And I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something new.